If you guys are lacking coins throughout Team of the Season, then check out IG Vault with the link down below. It's so easy to buy for them, and they're by far the quickest site around. They even update you as your coins go in. Use code Kurt for 6% off. What's up guys, Curtis here and welcome to a brand new FIFA 16 video. Today we're going to be looking at, in my opinion, the Euro 2016 team of the tournament. The best players so far. Now we're doing this before the final. There's a big chance someone could do something mad on the day of the final, and that will change it. I'm sure there's a possibility if Koscielny goes on a mad run, scores a 50-yard screamer, he'll probably make the team of the tournament if it's the winning goal. But I actually built this squad before EA released their own team of the tournament, so there'll be some variations and some different players, but I'm sure you guys are still interested in seeing what it is. We did it about halfway through, just as the knockout stages were starting. It's interesting to see a lot of big players have made a difference in the last few games that have earned themselves a little appearance in here. So before we get stuck into it, if you guys want to smash that like button, that would be absolutely amazing. Subscribe, of course, if you are new around here. Let's get into the first player, and that is Rafael Guerreiro. This guy has impressed me massively. I don't know what you guys think about him, but I honestly haven't really seen too much about him before this. I obviously knew he got his move to Dortmund, and he was originally a left mid playing for, I think it was FC Lorient in France, and he's playing for Borussia Dortmund. Trying to speak too quick here, but he's just got his move there, and he's going to be playing left back for them most likely next season. He's been playing left back for Portugal during the tournament. He's really impressed me. He's been so solid there, and just been really effective and efficient on that left hand side. Next up we have Kamil Glik. Obviously Poland were unfortunately knocked out by Portugal, but again they really impressed me. They were one of my dark horses for the tournament. They got the 0-0 against Germany. I feel like Glik was just really solid throughout the tournament. He was a really good centre back. He's not too old. He's a good centre back. It'd be interesting to see if he gets any sort of moves. I'm not sure if he's just moved to Monaco or he moved to Monaco earlier in the season or something like that, but I know he has a Monaco card now. Next up we have Leonardo Bonucci. This guy, I think he's been one of the best centre-backs in the tournament. The only reason he wasn't in the squad was because in my starting 11 was more because chemistry-wise I wanted a bit of Ken. But actually, now that I've made a change, I may put him in. You'll see in a minute. But he's really impressed me this tournament. His distribution's actually amazing. He's probably been the best, or was the best of the three of the Italian defence that unfortunately got knocked out recently. But very good player, and he's been very good this tournament. Ragnar Sigurdsson. This guy is probably a little bit more known to Englishmen now than he was a little while ago. He had a really impressive tournament for a centre-back. He was really good going forward. He was very solid defensively. Iceland impressed me a lot. They were the only team. They did something. I can't remember what it was. I can't even remember. I think they were the only team to score in every game of the tournament. I think that might be right, which is just actually incredible. Fair play to them, and Ragnar Sigurdsson was very impressive. Luka Modric was so good. I'm gutted that Croatia got knocked out. In my opinion, he was the best player in the group stages. He set the tournament on fire. He was so impressive, so efficient, made that midfield just absolutely tick, and he really impressed me. Jakub Blaszczykowski, or Kuba, I don't think he started the first game, and he came on the second game as a sub, and he obviously earned his place. I think he got 2 goals throughout the tournament, scored a penalty as well. Very good player. He really impressed me. I've obviously known him a lot through FIFA. He used to have that perfect link with Piszczek. I think he's just got it now because he just returned to Dortmund after his loan to Fiorentina. He's been very injury prone lately, but a very good player, and he really impressed me this tournament. Next up we have the second Icelandic player, and that is Gunnarsson. We have a lot of sons in this Icelandic squad. In fact, I think every player in the starting 11 has a son at the end of their name, and I'm not sure if that's the case with every Icelandic person. I don't know. It's very odd, but it's a very interesting thing. But anyway, Gunnarsson, I actually think he's just got a move. He may be going to Burnley. I may be wrong here. I could be completely wrong, but I do think I remember seeing that he's just got a move. Been really impressed with him again. Iceland just really so efficient. They were fantastic, just whole work unit this tournament, and fair play. They really have just really impressed me. But anyway, next up we have Balázs Dzsák. The guy was an absolute beast in pretty much all of Hungary's games. He got the 2 goals. Was it 2 against Portugal? I'm pretty sure it was. He just really impressed me. He looked like their only outlet, constantly getting good crosses in, scoring goals. Absolutely fantastic, and again was one of my favourite players to watch. Kevin De Bruyne, I think he has the highest who scored rating of the entire tournament. Of all the players that have played, he has an 8 point something. Of anyone that's played 3 or more games, and he has the best rating. So that means best passes, best chance completion, all that sort of thing. It's absolutely impressive and been really effective. Giroud, didn't know whether or not to include him. He scored 3 goals. I think anyone that scores 3 goals has done well. There's not that many that have got that many, and I think everyone with 3 or more is in this squad. And we have Gianluigi Buffon. Not more you can say, really. He's an absolute legend. And he's going to be in the starting 11 in a sec. So, we do actually have Manuel Neuer, but I didn't want to have to pay like 50k for him just for the sake of this. So, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put his concept in. We're going to show that he was there, and then we're actually going to take him out in a sec. But Manuel Neuer, I mean, Germany were fantastic. They barely conceded throughout the tournament. They conceded 1 goal, in fact, from a penalty before they played France. And that was a penalty against Italy. To not concede from open play until France is pretty flipping impressive. At the semi-final, the defence obviously helped, but Neuer was absolutely brilliant. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to take him off, and just we don't have to mess around with a concept looking dodgy, and we're going to put Buffon in goal. First up is our left centre-back, and that is Ben Davies. The dude has impressed me massively. He's actually, even though his card is a left-back, he's actually played centre-back, and it just makes you wonder, maybe he's going to actually get a loan move or something, because he rotated a bit with Rose this season, but he was always second choice. And I'd love to see him getting some first-team football, and maybe even on the left side of a free, as he played for Wales. Really, really, really impressed me. Like, he was so efficient. Again, I've said efficient a few times, but I feel like with a centre-back, that's the best way to describe some of the performances. Like, he's not incredibly tall, but he's really good on the ball. He's got a good bit of pace, and it just, yeah, he really, really impressed me. And he was part of one of the many important things of Wales before they got knocked out. And, of course, he wasn't available in their final game, and you never know, it could have had a big effect. Pepe. He's a nutter. He's an absolute nutter. We all know it. He's absolutely off his head. But for some reason, he's had, again, a really solid tournament. Of course, he's got a red card, just like in real life. I did not plan that, I promise you. But he's reached the final now, and it's going to be interesting. I think he missed the semi-final, but it's going to be interesting to see how he gets on if he's back for the final. Next up is Jerome Boateng. Again, part of that incredibly efficient German back line. And I was actually going to have him in the starter with Neuer, but we're going to stick Bonucci in. We will still talk about Boateng. He scored that screamer, didn't he, early on? And again, his distribution from him to Hector, something I noticed a lot. He'd ping the ball out wide to Hector as Hector's running down the left. He's such a good player, Boateng. He really, really is something special. Now, on this left-hand side, we're going to have something actually a little bit weird. I don't know why I've gone for this decision, but you will see in a second. He obviously needed to be in here somewhere, and that is, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo. What an absolute beast this guy is. He gets some stick, he's missed a penalty, he's been a bit interesting, but he's also still scored, what, 3 or 4 goals this tournament. He's been such a leading light for Portugal. Everything focuses around him. I know that's kind of a good thing and kind of a bad thing. You can't not include him. He's been brilliant, and he probably will score the winning goal in the final. It wouldn't surprise me. 90th minute, bicycle kick or something mad. But anyway, next up is Toni Kroos. Again, I think we've got 3 Germans in this squad in total. I think that's about right. Defensively and in the midfield, they were so German. They were just good. They were just German. They just set up well. They did their jobs. They were quite disappointing going forward. I think not having Gomez in the last game didn't help. Closer not being there. Muller just wasn't firing. They weren't too good going forward. But midfield, Kroos was amazing. He really, really impressed me. Next up is Aaron Ramsey. And honestly, I think if he wasn't suspended for the Portugal game and they made it through, I think he would have got player of the tournament. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, you're just saying that because you're an Arsenal fan. I honestly, I get really frustrated with him as an Arsenal fan. And he was a completely different player for Wales. I think he got 4 assists and a goal, maybe even 5 assists towards the end. He got 2 man of the matches. He really was instrumental in the whole play of Wales. He would just set up so many chances. And he played so different to how he does for Arsenal. Like, he was playing like how he did for Arsenal 2 or 3 years ago. Remember when he had that mad, 4 or 5 months, he was scored 12 goals. He played like that for Wales. And I honestly think if he'd stayed fit and they reached the final, he could have been player of the tournament. Not stayed fit. If he wasn't suspended and they reached the final, he could have done it. But sadly, he did not. Next up is Eden Hazard. I did not think 2 months ago I'd be putting Eden Hazard in my team of the tournament. The dude, I think, got 4 assists and a goal or something insane like that. He, again, he's right up there in the who scored ratings. He's been so impressive. When he was playing, he really, really made a difference. He was making chances, he was scoring goals, he was beating players. His footwork, his dribbling, it was like the Hazard that we used to know. And he was absolutely brilliant. You can't not include him. Anyone that thinks he doesn't deserve to be in it, then you're just... it's mind-blowing if you really don't think so. Next up is Dimi Payet. Very, very quiet against Germany, actually. Barely even got involved, barely touched the ball. I think he had 1 shot, and it was one of the most tame, long-range shots I've ever seen from Payet. For a man who can ping a ball, that was a P-roll. It was really poor. But he's been so good this tournament. He carried them to a few games in the group stage. He was really influential. And hopefully, for his sake, he has a really big final. I think it'd be good to see for West Ham's sake. I'll tell you what, West Ham fans can be a little bit dodgy on Twitter, but I do like West Ham. So I'd quite like to see Payet have a good final, and it'd be really interesting to see how they get on. Next up, we have Gareth Bale. You can't not include this dude. What a man. I mean, it's so interesting to see how he's got on. Like, in comparison, Wales and, like, the duel between those two was honestly pretty incredible. The two Real Madrid boys. I'd love to see him, like, get a bit more of the headlines at Real Madrid and be more involved in some different aspects of it. And even the likes, like, letting him take the free kicks now at Real or something like that. He clearly converts more free kicks than Ronaldo does. So it's like, why not just let him take them all? Why not? I don't know. But he's been so amazing this tournament. He really, again, has been fantastic for Wales. And last but not least, we have the guy heading for the Golden Boot. Unless Ronaldo or Giroud score like 3 goals each in the final, which, I mean, Giroud's definitely not going to do it, is he? But Griezmann, he's been fantastic. Boy, what I would give to have him at my club. I think everyone would. He's such an amazing little striker. So good at running off players. He spent a lot of the time in, like, centre forward and on the wing. But just having, like, the ability with Giroud just to set him up with the flicks and Griezmann to run off Giroud, he's been so good. And he really has impressed me. His finishing's fantastic. So quick, so clever, so good on the ball. And the completely opposite type of player to Giroud. And he's really, really been good. I hope, for his sake, again, he has a fantastic final and doesn't do the same thing he did with Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid and have Griezmann versus Ronaldo. Hopefully he can win. Probably, I'd say it's more important to him. I think he'd rather win the Euros with his home country than the Champions League, but they're both pretty incredible. I'm sure it would make them even if one of them was to get one, the other. Anyway, that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. Let me know what you think. If there's any players you think I missed that should have made the team of the tournament, I'm sure you guys disagree on some, but let me know in the comments down below. Smash that like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you all next time. Bye!